guys, I'm between you and some drinks, so we're going to keep this really, really short. I've loved today. It's been so good to see some of you here. I know a lot of you have travelled the length and breadth from the UK. I think we have a few people from overseas too. Hands up if you're from overseas. Yes, let's go locations. So, Dave, what part of the US?
Battleground state of Pennsylvania.
Swing state. The swing state. So your neighbours may decide the future of the free world tonight. Lauren, which state are you from? Nevada. And we've been working with Dave, Lauren, Team Velocity for the last 6 months. Really amazing reputation in the US in terms of specialise in executive coaching, talent development, really complement what we do at WorkBuzz, and been delighted to partner with you. So thank you for making the effort to come across the pond. We really appreciate it. There's one more hand towards the back. Whereabouts are you from? Just a bit louder, sorry? Copenhagen. A big welcome, and thank you all for making the effort to come, especially when it's dark outside, isn't it? This time of year it's hard, it's dark outside, it's raining, and the trains are there. In terms of slides, so we've had a large number of sessions today, but this is the one quote that really sums up, I think, for me, what today's been about. So I'm going to steal this from Rebecca's presentation, the Einstein quote. Quite a famous, quite a smart guy. I think when I think about this, I think about what happened in COVID has parallels for me with what's coming with AI. So think about COVID, we had Zoom, we had Teams, and the technology was there. But without everyone in this room and in your profession being those agents of change, we could have got that badly wrong, and that overnight forced transition to remote working for those of us that were lucky enough to be able to work remotely, or if we had to flip our restaurants and do deliveries, all of a sudden, technology enabled that, but it wasn't technology alone that allowed us to keep society running and keep it going. As HR, as people change agents, we're the catalysts behind that. And if you think about some of the conversations we've had about AI, there's a continuum. There's some of you already using ChatGPT to cheat on the session just then. But could you imagine, none of us, if someone said to us 2 years ago at WorkBuzz Live 2022, we were using ChatGPT to summarize and answer questions, we would have, what's that? What's going on? That's just in 2 years, isn't it? Just in 2 years. That's been a bit like COVID, a bit like hybrid working as part of our lexicon now. And ChatGPT is firmly in the mix. So some of you are those early adopters, some of you later adopters, some of you still trying to, at your organization, and Genevieve, sort of banned from using AI in your own organizations. And we will do something about that. So one of the things we'll do is, I'm a non-technical founder, which basically means I'm not as clever as Lewis, okay, when it comes to technical stuff. And I've been having to educate, or Lewis is having to educate me about how this stuff works, really, and the swim lanes, how we can use AI so it's safe around that. And I've had a crash course in terms of private cloud networks and all this kind of stuff. One of the things we'll do off the back of today, we'll create a resource which will summarize in terms of steps you can take to make sure, if you use an AI, what you upload doesn't end up on a training model for someone else and sort of jeopardizes your data. We'll put together a guide around that to help you navigate upwards with your sort of with your stakeholders, so you can move the needle and use that in an agile, in a modern way. One of the things we've also spoken about was collaboration, and 5 generations in the workforce now. And I read some of his headlines, I think the Indeed one around Gen Z, lazy, 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 and there's so many Gen Zs who have stronger work ethics than the baby boomers. There's so many baby boomers who have more ideas than Gen Zs. But it's just trying to challenge that and sort of challenge those stereotypes, and we can role model that in this room. And I think about our trailblazers and pioneers, and we want to shape the future with you. For me, I get a huge amount of excitement in terms of running a company that some of you will know. It's tough, it's hard, but it's excitement bit. It's trying to make a difference. It's trying to drive change. is the stuff that really motivates me. And we want to be alongside you on that journey. So just to reference, we'll come on to a second, we've shared with you some of our roadmap, which comes out in January. So Lewis has spoken a lot about our dashboards now in 50 languages. So pretty much almost any language you can think of, we can have that on our dashboards now as well. So it's an inclusive experience for your people managers, particularly for overseas, the different languages. We've spoken about the API, which is currently being worked on now, that will streamline if you're running onboard exit surveys. You better trigger those. So that automation just saves you so much time, a bit like the ChatGPT example earlier on. And we've spoken about what's coming in the new year. And these changes in January are the biggest changes we've ever made on the platform, but they are just the start. And we'd love for you to take part in WorkBuzz Advanced. As I said before, with AI, every time we pass data to Claude, secured in the private cloud, we get charged. That's what's a new tier, just so we can cover the costs on that. But we'd love to hear your stories about how you're using that to solve that double-sided problem. To have your virtual HR business partner sat alongside every manager, coach them on their feedback, and that's going to get better and better. We're super lucky to have such a talented people science team, and we are tuning this almost on a weekly basis, so it gets smarter and smarter. In terms of feedback from today, as we said, we love your thoughts. It's actually on Monday. We have an offsite on Monday. I think it's about 2 p.m. on the agenda, which is debrief for WorkBuzz Live. So, and every piece of feedback we read. So if I could just ask you, if you could make sure you can share your feedback. Even now, we have the QR codes also on the tables as well. We'd love to get your feedback. We take it really seriously. Gary has already referenced some of the changes we've made this year to make it more interactive, including the slider, including the breakout sessions. And our commitment is to make sure WorkBuzz Live in 2025 is even bigger and even better, and the cocktails are even tastier than the ones we're going to have in a few minutes. And in that spirit, we want to be trailblazing too. When we had the Slido poll, I think it was roughly 27% or so put yourself as trailblazers on that AI journey. There is so much stuff we're working on, which is literally thinking about how could we reinvent employee listening. In 2, 3, 4 years' time, we're not going to be completing surveys the same way we do now with like-it-scale questions. It's going to be video, it's going to be voice, it's going to be interactive, it's going to be conversations. So we do fall into that 27 or so percent that want to trailblaze, want to early adopts. If you speak to me, speak to Lewis over a cocktail, we've got some really exciting stuff we'd love to involve you in the new year and really pioneer together, and let's do something special. So extra time. So we have cocktails, we have tote bags. I think everyone wants a cocktail rather than a tote bag, don't they? And on there, I don't think the tote bags are waterproof either, so you can't tip your cocktail in your tote bag to take it home on a train. I don't think that's going to work this time round. But we have the final networking outside. I think the area where we had the lunch area earlier on, I popped out, and it was a military operation. There's like 100 people centered on it. Literally do a turn of the room around right away. We also have a TED Talk style presentation on well-being. We have Ryan who helps lead that, one of our partners too. So if you need to get away, I understand, because I know some of you have train journeys, have childcare and so on. If you are able to join us for a cocktail or two, a tote bag, our TED Talk session as well. I think the TED Talk session, just remind me, Gary, which room is that in? In the same room.
By the time Ben and Ryan can set up.
Yeah. So we have about half an hour until that TED Talk session by Ben and Ryan, but cocktails in the meantime. And again, thank you from me for being a key part of our journey, our supporters. I really appreciate it. So only 6 years ago we started WorkBuzz. With a real modest budget, credit cards to finish the platform. I'm really proud of where we got to so far. We're really grateful for your support, but we are just getting started. So let's enjoy cocktail now. Let's enjoy the next 5 or 6 weeks before the end of the year, and let's pioneer together in 2025. Thank you.